The Halloween season is here and the game reviews are just getting started.
It begins!
Now back in 1991, Data East put out this little old arcade cabinet game called Mutant Fighter. In Japan it was called Death Braid. The translation I don't understand, but okay. Now, Mutant Fighter is a tournament fighter kind of game, allowing the player to choose from 9 different mythological creatures, such as the Amazoness, Dragon, Hercules, Werewolf, the Fighter, Golem, and Minotaur, and Beast. Oh, wait, hold on, wrong Beast. This one. Now, graphically speaking, the game is actually quite impressive with some of the finer details they managed to display in this game, from the muscly texture of each of the fighters' nice chiseled biceps, to the wearing of some of the arenas, like the crest they have on the floor, and even some of the details they have in the crowd with the different people hooting and hollering at you. The werewolf does have this weird kind of thing going on with his shoulders where they kind of look like they connect to the side of his head. I did notice that the beast kind of reminds me of the troll from Ernest Scared Stupid. Speaking of attacks, the overall tone of the fighting in this game really feels more like a wrestling game. While each character has their own style of attacks, typically 2 different melee attacks, a charge attack, and a jump attack, you can also perform some blatantly obvious wrestling moves. Not to mention, one of the arenas in this game is actually a wrestling ring. You can pull off some RKOs and leg drops and pile drivers. I mean, even the werewolf has Hulk Hogan's luscious locks. The only annoying thing I can really complain about is that if you run into your opponent, you both get knocked out. So that's a minor gripe at best, and I mean, is realistic. I mean, if I ran into someone, I would fall down, so they're not wrong. Now, in this version, I am playing the arcade version, which includes all 8 playable characters, but the Super Nintendo version only contained 5. The Fighter, Amazoness, Hercules, Beast, and Minotaur. The bosses stay the same across both versions, though, so you can still fight Hydra, Doppelganger, Demon, and Archmage. Now, I am playing this on an emulator, which might explain why the in-game audio is so wretched and horrible, but the Super Nintendo version here gives you a better idea of what the sound effects and audio actually is. So it doesn't sound as bad on the Super Nintendo version, whereas in the emulator, again, I don't know if this is how it was for the arcade version, but it sounds pretty bad. Overall, Mutant Fighter is a pretty cool arcade tournament fighting game. If you love mythological creatures and fantasy, and you like fighting games, especially wrestling games, then this is one you should definitely play. It's quick, it's lighthearted, and it's easy to get right into the action of the game. There aren't many games I can honestly say that you can play as a werewolf performing an RKO on a Minotaur, or a golem powerbombing a dragon. So that puts Mutant Fighter on the short list of the awesome monster tournament fighting games ever to be made.